Hey guys, welcome back to Caden's Corner. Today, I will be breaking down the playoff matchups and giving you guys my predictions. Starting in the West, we have the Suns versus the 8th seed play-in game. I won't spend too much time on this series, but the Clippers and Pelicans are playing for the 8th seed tonight. The Suns have been spectacular all season long, led by CP3 and Devin Booker. When both of these two were down during the regular season, the Suns stepped up and showed why they have the best record in the NBA. The Suns breezed through this series with a sweep. On to the 2-7 matchup where the Grizzlies take on the Timberwolves. The T-Wolves are another team that started the season slow but have come alive, winning 22 of their last 33. They are led by their big man, Cat, and former #1 overall pick from a year ago, Anthony Edwards. Not to mention Patrick Beverley, the gritty veteran that energizes this team. The Grizzlies had an amazing unexpected season, clinching the 2 seed with such a young roster. Ja Morant is such a special talent to watch, but missed 25 games this season. However, during that stretch, the Grizz managed to go 20-5. For the Timberwolves to win this series, they can't play like they did in the first half against the Clippers. I think the Timberwolves could steal one game here, but the Grizzlies have proven themselves throughout the season with their outstanding defense. I have the Grizzlies winning in 5. The Nuggets versus the Warriors will be the best first-round series in the West. I think this series goes 5 with Curry, but without him, it could go either way. The Warriors have been exceptional all season despite struggling with injuries from Draymond, Clay, Curry, and Wiseman. Curry is questionable for Game 1, but obviously the sooner he can return, the better. The Nuggets have also struggled with injuries, losing MPJ for the season and Jamal Murray missing the entire season due to a torn ACL. But Jokic has been nothing short of incredible every game he's played. He's on his way to winning back-to-back MVPs, averaging 27, 14, and 8. The Warriors don't have a true big man who can try and slow down Jokic, so expect a monster series from him. Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole have been on fire during this stretch without Curry. I think the Warriors get him back midway through the series and win it in 6. In the 4-5 matchup in the West, the Mavericks face off against the Jazz. The Mavericks have been one of the hottest teams in basketball since January. They started their season 17-18, and after January 1st, they finished 35-12. This has to do with the departure of Kristaps Porzingis and the trade for Spencer Dinwiddie. Luka has also been carrying this team, averaging 28 points per game and leading his team in every stat except for blocks. The surge of third-year guard Jalen Brunson has added a spark off the bench that this team dearly needed. In the regular season finale, Luka injured his calf and is expected to return midway through the series. I don't have much positive to say about this Jazz team. I think the organization will blow everything up this offseason. Donovan Mitchell and Gobert reportedly don't have a good relationship, and the rumors of Quinn Snyder leaving for the Lakers are heating up. The Jazz are a team built for regular season success, but aren't built for playoff time. With Luka's timetable being unknown, the Mavericks become severely undermanned. If Luka returns Game 3, then I think the Mavericks win this in 6 or 7. But if it's past that, then the Jazz win this in 6. Into the Eastern Conference we go, where the 1 seed Heat will be playing either the Cavaliers or the Hawks. The Heat struggle down the stretch and leave a lot of question marks. How is this team's chemistry, and who's going to step up and be the #1 scorer when the game is going down to the wire and they need a bucket? Jimmy Butler is their leading scorer with 21 a game. Their second leading scorer, Tyler Hero, comes off the bench and averages 20 a game. This season, he has almost 300 more field goal attempts than Butler. Jimmy has to play into the superstar role for the Heat to make a run. I think they play the Hawks here and beat them in 6. Trey is such a talented scorer, and I think he can help them grab 2 victories, but the Heat are the #1 seed for a reason. Into the 2-7 game, where the Boston Celtics will take on the Brooklyn Nets, where without a doubt this will be the best series in the first round. The Celtics have been arguably the best team in basketball since January, going 26-9. The Celtics team was a bottom-tier play-in team the first half of the season, and some people questioned if Brown and Tatum could play together. Since then, Tatum and Brown have each scored 30 points in the same game 5 times this season, and this is the most by a Celtics duo in history. The Nets are also heating up at the right time, toying with the Cavaliers in their playing game, being up 20 in the first quarter. Everyone knows how special KD and Kyrie can be, but is their dynamic scoring enough to make up for the Nets' poor defense? One of the best defenders in the NBA, Ben Simmons, is still on the bench rehabbing from an injury. He is predicted to return around Game 4 or 5 this series, but it is difficult to come back in the middle of the playoffs and immediately return to his all-star self. This is a huge series for the Celtics. They can get revenge for last season when they were undermanned without Jaylen Brown. They showed they aren't afraid and didn't want to lose games at the end of the season just to avoid the Nets. The loss of Robert Williams to the Celtics is monumental, as he was one of the anchors on their defense along with Marcus Smart. The majority of the media has this series going 6 to 7 games, but I think that the Celtics shock the world and win this in 5. The Celtics' suffocating defense will slow down KD and Kyrie enough to let the Celtics' offense take over. The Nets' lack of defense makes it almost impossible for them to hold leads and dig out of them. In the 3-6 series, the Bucks will be taking on the Bulls. I think the Bucks have been flying under the radar all year. Giannis is having another MVP caliber season, averaging 30, 12, and 6. The Bulls at the All-Star break were the number 1 seed in the East and looked like they had a solid team, but the injuries of Lonzo Ball and Caruso caused this team to barely avoid the play-in.
I think that the Bucks breeze past the Bulls here and sweep them.
The Sixers versus the Raptors is another series I'm really looking forward to. The Sixers are a loaded team that does most of their damage with their starting 5, but getting buckets from their bench is a big ask when the 76ers average the 3rd fewest bench points in the NBA. The 76ers also have a lot of pressure on them for this postseason. James Harden will be feeling the most pressure during the playoffs. He has never won in the postseason and will only add critics if he struggles. There's also an enormous amount of pressure on head coach Doc Rivers as speculation and rumors begin to grow as if he should be the head coach of the 76ers. On the other hand, Nick Nurse and the Raptors have picked things up at the perfect time, winning 14 of their final 18. Siakam won Eastern Conference Player of the Week, putting up 32, 12, and 8. Not to mention, due to the Canadian vaccine laws, Matisse Thybulle, the 76ers' best defender, won't be able to play in the away games. The 76ers need this James Harden trade to work as they gave up former number 1 overall pick Ben Simmons. In a massive upset, I'm taking the Raptors to grind out this series and win in 7. I think the Raptors are an underrated team, and I think they have the depth to beat the Sixers when Embiid and Harden are on the bench. In the first semifinals game, starting off in the West, I have the number 1 seed Suns taking on the 4 seed Mavericks. The Suns have just been so dominant all year long, it's hard to go against them. The Mavericks, I think, will struggle to get out of their first round matchup with the banged up Luka. I think the Suns win in 6 to move on to the Western Conference Finals. The Warriors versus the Grizzlies is also another easy pick in the semifinals. The Warriors are going up against a very young Grizzlies team with no playoff experience. I think that will be a key factor in this series, and assuming that Curry is back and healthy, I think the Warriors take this in 5. Thompson and Poole are heating up at the end of the season, which is perfect for the Warriors. In the first semifinals in the East, the Raptors taking on the Heat. I think the Heat fell apart on the back end of the season, and I think this will hurt them more come playoff time. I think their lack of having a true number 1 scorer hurts them tremendously, but Spoelstra has done a great job with this roster and finding hidden gems like Max Strus. When I look at this roster, I see a team who's a number 1 seed with massive expectations with such a solid roster. And on the other side, I see a team who's underrated but has silently been beating playoff teams left and right. In this series, I'm taking the Raptors to win in 7 games. I know it may sound crazy to have a number 5 seed beating a number 1 seed, but during the regular season, these teams split their games going 2-2. In the other Eastern Conference semifinal, which should really be the Eastern Conference final, the Bucks facing off against the Celtics. I think the Bucks and the Celtics are the 2 best teams in the East, and this will be a great series. I have the Celtics winning this series in 6, and here's why. The Celtics defense has been the best defense in the league, and it isn't close. If Robert Williams is even close to 100% healthy, this will be huge in slowing down Giannis. The Celtics switch everything defensively, and this has been a problem for teams when everyone 1 through 5 will lock you up. Not to mention, the roles that Brown and Tatum play defensively help the Celtics be so dominant. Into the Western Conference Finals we go, where the 3-seeded Warriors will take on the 1-seeded Suns. The Suns, back in position to make a repeat run from last year, now facing off against the Warriors. The guard play from both of these teams carries them tremendously on the offensive side of the ball. Both of these teams are also incredibly deep. The team I have going to the finals is the Warriors because of one man, Stephen Curry. I expect a great series from the Splash Brothers and Jordan Poole to lead this team in 6 games to the finals. Into the Eastern Conference Finals we go, where the 2-seeded Celtics will face off against the 5-seeded Raptors. The Celtics could get this series done in 5 games and coast into the finals, the first appearance for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. This finals matchup will be great, the 2-seeded Celtics versus the 3-seeded Warriors. The Celtics' great defense will definitely be tested by the lethal offense from the Warriors. The matchup that will be so anticipated is the potential future Defensive Player of the Year Marcus Smart versus Stephen Curry. This will also be a huge moment for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to prove that they are one of the best duos in the NBA. I think the Celtics will win this series and win the finals in 6 games. Robert Williams and Al Horford will dominate the glass all series long. I also expect Marcus Smart and Derek White to shut down the perimeter. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments who you guys have winning the whole thing. In 2 weeks, the NFL draft is here, and I will be having my 2022 official NFL mock draft. Thank you guys so much for watching. See ya.